So this one was, I think I called this chapter the Pearl Valley Farmland. It was about, how can we produce food and have clean water? So I think I was making a subversive point here about people have told me, why are you talking about wolves and bringing wolves back to Ireland? This is totally way down the line. We can't, have healthy populations of salmon and bees, which are not killing sheep. So we need to focus on that first. But I was making a point here that the system we have of food production is not compatible with wolves any more than it's compatible with living with bees or salmon or freshwater pearl mussels, which are completely innocuous to people and livestock. So I was kind of thinking, well, look, if we could have a food system where rivers flowing through that landscape have healthy populations of freshwater pearl mussels, that is a sustainable food system.
And Pork, sorry, would you be able to just explain to the viewers why pearl mussels are such a good litmus test for the health of a river?
So pearl mussels are the opposite of charismatic megafauna. They don't have eyes, they don't have furry faces. They live on the bottom of rivers. They look like a mussel that you would eat with your chips and that are in the sea. They're a little bit bigger. They have a pearl in them sometimes. But what makes them very difficult from a conservation point of view is that they really can only survive in the cleanest of waters. Now, if you go back 100 years, our rivers had billions of pearl mussels in them, which tells you how clean our waters were. They also live in association with salmon and trout. Part of their life cycle is they shoot their larvae into the water column. Those larvae then need to get attached to the gills of a trout or a salmon, and they live there on those gills for a number of years, and then they fall off at a moment of their choosing. And where they fall in the water will determine where they live for over 100 years. So it's quite a fascinating life cycle.
And sorry, Pork, does that mean that they go out to sea and then come back on the migration? If for example, if they attach to a salmon, do they go out to sea and come
No,
back?
they don't go out to sea. They will fall off the salmon or trout before that salmon will migrate into the sea. What's happening is the rivers now have been physically altered and the water quality has deteriorated so that the pearl mussel population has completely crashed. Now, what's interesting is that we still have populations of old freshwater pearl mussels, geriatric mussels, but they're still breeding. And there are still salmon there and trout, and the larvae are still hatching onto them. But what's happening is when those larvae fall off the salmon or trout into the river is too polluted for them to grow. And so the population, we only have old freshwater pearl mussels. We have no baby freshwater pearl mussels surviving. So this is slow motion extinction.
Even in Mayo, even in there.
I think there's one population left in the country that is able to produce young. No other population in the country has been able to, even though we've had special areas of conservation that are supposed to be allowing these populations to survive. It's just not happening because the water quality is so poor. And largely that's down to agriculture. And a decision was made 20 years ago, nearly now, I suppose, that freshwater pearl mussels were not going to stand in the way of dairy expansion. And it was as simple as that. And they can go extinct if they have to. But we're not going to let this get in our way. And as a result, the pearl mussels are dying out, as are many rivers. And estuaries are grossly polluted. A lot of our rivers now in summer, all you'll see are mats of green gunk floating down them. And so we've sacrificed an awful lot for the agricultural expansion that we've seen in recent decades.